Okay, I had to restart because for some reason the lighting wasn't very good. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. But, so here we are again. So, I have this little bag. What I do is I put the 12 zodiac signs in there, and then I pick whatever one I pick is the next reading that I do, because I feel as if this the most energy and the reason Spirit wants us to actually read this this sign next, okay? Because there's something right now that you need to know. The timestamp on this does not matter when you're meant to see this. Trust your intuition that you were meant to see it right now, okay? So it could be a week, a year, a month from now. It doesn't matter. When you're meant to see, everybody goes through different things at different times. They're down different paths, different lessons. So not all Virgos are going through exactly what you're going through at this time. So that is why when you are meant to see this video is when you're meant to see it, okay? So we're doing the situation that you're in, direct reason that you're in this situation, and the guidance to face and overcome the issues, okay? So right now, this is the card that came out. I do apologize, I had to stop the first one because the lighting was kind of off, and I wanted you guys to be able to see the cards, okay? So this first card that came out, this is the situation that you're in, and this is the Ace of Swords in reverse, okay? So what's going on here, Virgo? And then look at on the end, on the bottom of this deck. It's the Magician. This card is your card and Gemini's card. This is Mercury. Okay? So this is your energy. It's nice to know that you guys are here, Virgos. Okay, spirits, guides, angels. What is it that my Virgo... Or this, what is the direct reason that Virgo is in this situation? I appreciate spirits, guides, angels. My Virgos. Ooh, it almost came out. Okay, so what is the direct reason that Virgos are in this situation? Come on, Virgos. You guys being stubborn? Keeping to yourselves? Are you in your hermit mode, guys? What's going on here? There are 6 planets right now that are in retrograde, so if you feel off and miscalculated, that is why. 6 planets, guys. That's a lot. So if things are just kind of extreme or not going your way, or if you feel, you know, it's the reason why. There's a lot of energies that are in retrograde right now. It's just a lot. That's a lot of 6. That's like, what, half planets? How many planets do we have? We don't have 12, do we? We have 9, don't we? Or did they? I don't know. Anywho, whatever planets. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, here we go. So this is the direct reason that you're in this situation, okay? Now I'm going to let this card go with this because of the fact that it came up with it. Okay, so I am going to take that with that. Okay, now spirits, guides, thank you so much for helping and being here with us and Virgo. What is the card for the guidance for Virgo to face and overcome the issue that they're currently in? What is the guidance for Virgo that they have to face and overcome this issue that they're in? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. All right, so these came spitting out at us. So this is the top card. Okay, this is the Devil in reverse. Good thing, right? I guess. Maybe. The Death card. Oh my gosh. And the Emperor. Okay, so I'm going to read those with this because that is something that Spirit wants you guys to know. Bear with me. I'm going to actually try to change this view so it's not in my way because I don't want to knock this over and just completely destroy your guys' readings. Yeah, let's do it this way. Perfect. Okay, so it's easier for me to read this way instead of sideways anyway. Okay, so this is the Ace of Swords. This is the reason why you are in the situation that you're in right now. Let's find out. Okay, we'll do one at a time here. This is the second. These came out with the second, and this is the... Oh, what do we do here? Well, this is the Devil in reverse. Okay, that's what it was, and this is what's here, and this was here. Okay, great. Yay! Okay, we got this now. So, my Virgos, what is going on? My dream catcher's just getting in the way now. Okay, so this is the Ace of Swords in reverse, okay? Let's find out what that means. So the aces are on the top of the tree of life. That means that they're with spirit, or, you know, there's a hand of God in it. For some reason, because this is in reverse, so swords are a mental suit. They are air energy, so air Air energy would be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. The swords are about thoughts, mentality, and motivation. So if you think about this card, let's get a little closer. If you think about this card, guys, let me move this. It's about your mentality, okay, in your mind, whatever is going on in your mind, okay? So this is your card right now. It being in reverse is a little bit, well, like I said, you know, everything's in 6 planets right now are in retrograde, including Mercury. So, you know, that's probably why everything is kind of upside down and confusing and hard. And so reverse, this means inner clarity, rethinking an idea, and you have clouded judgment right now. So the aces, I said each ace has the hand of God, so it's usually like new beginnings, but because this card is in reverse, it means that you guys are not, something is clouding your mentality right now. There's something that you're not, something is kind of distorting you. So the Ace of Swords reverse indicates that a new idea or breakthrough is emerging from within you, but you're not willing to share it with others just yet. Okay, so you come to a realization about something, but you're not ready to actually share that with the world yet, or to whatever you made the decision about. So you may still be exploring this idea and the means for you and how to best express and manifest it in the external world. So that's what hermits do. That's what they're analytical seekers. That's what Virgos do. So you may also seek greater clarity about whether this is an idea that you wish to pursue more fully, or perhaps because you are unsure if it will bring the results that you truly desire. So when this card appears in a tarot reading, it is important to give yourself time and space to meditate, clear your mind so that you can birth this idea in the most effective way, okay? So sometimes the reverse ace can also be a signal that you have an idea that's not coming to fruition in the way that you hoped, and it's time to go back to the drawing board. So you may still be pursuing an idea that no longer has any meaning for you, or you may have too many ideas on the go, so you cannot commit to one course of action. So this card invites you to spend more time on defining the plain terms, what it is that you want in life, and set yourself some SMART goals, which is to be like specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound, so that you can be clear on what you're working towards. You need to focus on the basics and do something better, some better planning, okay? So get clear on your aspirations and your goals. Like I said too, this Ace of Swords can also reverse, also can suggest that you have clouded judgment and a lack of mental clarity around a specific situation. You are missing relevant information or evidence that will help you decide. So invest your time and your energy into seeking out the truth rather than just taking things at face value, okay? So this is where you guys are at right now. This is the situation that you're in. Clouded judgment, someone's not at an, or you found, you actually came, you might have come to a realization that you just don't feel like sharing right now, okay? So yeah, okay, great. So this next card that came out is the Five of Cups. Okay, so this card, it represents the direct reason that you're in this situation, okay? So this is the reason why you're in this situation. So this is the Five of Cups. Now, fives are severity in the tree of life. And the reason why, well, they're conflict, they're testing cards, they're tough love. Any action that is done without love can be bad. It creates evil. So there's a lot of conflict and change in this card. I mean, if you just look at it, you can see what this card kind of represents, right? What's going on, my Virgos? So the Five of Cups is this card represents Mars and Scorpio. This card is called the Lord of Loss and Pleasure. Okay, so you can see that's kind of dark, right? There's gray in the background, and someone is wanting things that have been lost. See these cups down here? These cups have spilled, and there's nothing in them anymore. So they lost something here, okay? So, but if this person could just stop focusing on these cups that have been spilt, and they could actually turn around, they could see this, that all isn't lost here. There's something that remains, okay? So if you would just turn around and focus on what remains, you would actually see in that direction that there's a bridge right here. See this bridge right here? So if you stop focusing on the loss of these cups that they're already spilled, and you turn around and you see these 2 cups are still full, there's a bridge right here that can get you over these troubled waters. Okay, so when you get to the other side of that bridge, there's going to be transformation there, and it is possible. So the loss of pleasure, you're learning wisdom of sorrows, and we're going to teach you that what is really real will stay even in the face of loss. Okay, so taking loss with dignity, move on with life, and do not wallow in self-pity. You're stuck in the past. Sorry, Virgo, I'm kind of tired. So you're stuck in the past and you can't let go of the past, okay? So this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell everybody this, okay? In our life, we have to experience loss and pain and defeat in order for us to grow. It's just the way that us humans learn. We've actually been learning this. This was our first lesson that we ever had to learn, was failure, okay? So when we were younger, and we were actually teaching ourselves how to walk, the average human would fall 17 times an hour. So imagine that. We fell 17 times an hour before we actually, with all that failure, we never stopped. We kept getting back up, and we would try it again, okay? And every time that we tried again, we actually were able to do it with a little bit more experience, a little bit more knowledge of how to actually make it right. Now, a lot of us walk now with ease. We don't think about it. We just know how to walk. That's exactly the lesson here, okay? So don't sit there and think about what was lost here or how many times that you fell in this failure. Think about what you learned from this, okay? And take it and keep on getting back up, okay? What this card is also saying is that all is not lost here. There's something here that remains. So if that means it's this like a love or friendship or whatever this is, there's something here. Even in death, there's spirit, okay? So even in death, some spirit is, or their spirit is still with you. You just need to stop focusing on this. Turn around and look at these cups. Now, sometimes you also have to view it as these cups weren't meant for you, or even though these are 3 cups and these are only 2, there's more value in these 2 cups than there is in there. These weren't meant for you. This might have been, I don't know, dirt in here, but they were full, so you thought it was good. But these ones have gold in it. See what I'm saying? It says grace, love, whatever. So if you were to turn around, you would actually see this path of this bridge that can actually bring you over these troubled waters. Okay? Everybody goes through this, and just know that it's here to make you a better person, or to help teach you a lesson, or have more knowledge or gain more insight on something to help you become who you've always been, or heal old wounds, okay? So remember that, guys. Okay, so now Virgo, this card right here is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this is your energy, Virgos. This card, the Queen of Pentacles, is actually Cancer, or their earth signs, so they're Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgos. Okay, so this card, Pentacles, they represent our physical world, our material world, and interesting enough, I love the Queens a lot because of the fact that there's one thing about the Queens that they have one thing that they're really good at. Okay, so they're very direct in things. They don't beat around the bush. They're not playing games, and they're also on the tree of life, but not. So these are all water signs. So Queens are water signs, and those signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. They're also about, oh wait, no, what am I doing? Oh yeah, Queens are water, and Pentacles are earth. Okay, duh, sorry. I guess I'm a little bit tired, so bear with me, guys. So the Queen of Pentacles are, you can see, like, she's holding that pentacle and she's looking down on it because she's very proud of it. Do you see that? So this represents earth and water. So her key phrase is playing the hand that has been dealt. So she can go further on less, and she can go further on less more than any other card that's in the deck, or anything else. So she'll work her fingers to the bone if you deem worthy of it. So she manages. Capricorn is hardworking. Okay, so at her best polarity, which means that when this queen is at her best, she can make anything work more than anyone else could imagine. So she makes do, okay? On her lower polarity, which means like if you're not feeling as, if this queen isn't feeling as up to, you know, her energy, she feels drudged, and she may also cheat to get what she wants or not even play the hand at all, okay? But this queen is very resourcefulness, and she's generous, prosperity, high social status, success, and very nurturing and practical. So it might be a working parent or a female person in your life who is a hard worker, or it also could be representing you. So, but Virgos, do you cheat yourself by going for less, the least expensive, the least suitable, the less than perfect? There's great pleasure in sacrificing for something, or saving for something, or acquiring something that's just right. But sometimes it's the anticipation of that. So there's more pleasure in actually having that, okay? So you got to really decide what is best for you, guys. So you might have done, you know, like if it's a relationship, you might have been with somebody because of their social status, or because they're a certain way, or they practice a certain religion, or they're, you know what I'm saying, or they're a certain race. I don't know what it is, okay? But the reason why they're saying this is that maybe you felt like that type of situation or something is just because of the actual image or title of it. And when you actually like were in that situation, like if it's a job or if it's a relationship, like you could be with somebody who has high social status or a name that is like really powerful maybe. And then when you actually are involved in that either career, job, or in that relationship, you find out that it's not what it's cracked up to be, and it's not for you. Okay, so that's what they're saying here. So it's saying great pleasure in sacrificing for something, saving for something, or acquiring something that's just right. But sometimes it's the anticipation of that that's more pleasure in actually having it. Okay, so that sounds like vanity almost, you know? It is. So don't overthink things, especially in a relationship. Set reasonable limits and embrace what you yearn for. You need to cocoon yourself in a spiritual protection and say extra prayers. Burn incense, light candles, enjoy things like dinner, movies, things like that. It's the little things, right, guys? So heighten your appreciation for your blessings more with the simple things in life. So you'll come to realize of what it is that you can actually do without. I know that Virgos are very... they're perfectionists, so they think everything has to be perfect. But you know what, honestly, perfection is when it's not perfect, you guys. Clearly. That perfection in somebody is when they are, you know, like disastrously perfect. You know, like it's kind of a contradiction, if you will. And that's probably why Capricorn is known for contradiction. This card is an earth sign. I'm not saying that that's a Capricorn doing this. However, it has something to do with your physical world or your material world, or like a social status or something like that. And with you being a Virgo, you're very analytical, and you're very, you know, you worry about how you look, your clothes have to be perfect, and then you think that, you know, in a relationship you have to have the perfect partner. But I'm gonna tell you something, guys. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. There's not one soul walking this earth that's perfect. Okay, and the ones who act like they are perfect are usually the ones that are more effed up than anybody. So remember that, guys. Okay, so don't so much get into the image of things, but you know, it's somebody who's in their, like, right for you is a person for your soul and your spirit, not for your image and your social status. Okay, so it's vanity, and you're going about it the wrong way, and that's probably why you are in sorrow right here. Okay, because you're not letting yourself be happy. You're not getting the things that are right for you. But you came to a realization about something. So you must be almost there, guys, you know? So anywho, the next card that came out wasn't this the devil upside down? I think it was, guys. Or was the devil upright? I don't remember. I think this devil was upside down. And this was the reason why. Same thing though, it's the same card though. It's the same guidance to actually face and overcome this issue. These are the same, under the same thing. So, and then the Emperor. So I don't remember how this went. You know what? We'll just put these as messages from Spirit, okay? I'm going to take this because Spirit wanted me to do it that way. And this is your energy, so it's going to help you. Either way, this is going to be the same situation, same reading. It doesn't matter how they're actually placed. I'm going to read those as messages from Spirit after we're done with these, okay? Just because when I ask them for cards and situation you're in, the direct reason what you're in, and the guidance to actually face and overcome, they're going to give us the main reason, and then some cards actually might spit out because it's something extra that you want to know. So I'm going to put those into the messages that you want to know, and not necessarily underneath that specific, you know, you know what's going on in your life, okay? So I'll give you the descriptions, the cards, the energy, and it's up to you, Virgo, to write your story, because I don't know specifically what every Virgo is going through, and not every Virgo goes through the same thing at the same time. It's impossible. So that's why I like to do it this way, because you write your own story. I don't write it. I give you the descriptions, energies, and you get to figure that out. It's your life, not mine. Okay? All right. So spirits and angels and guides, I do appreciate you helping us with Virgos and right now. Can you please clarify? I'll get these out of the way here. Can you please clarify for me the Ace of Swords? Can you please clarify what, or the reason why Virgo is in the situation that they're in? And please clarify this Ace of Swords for us. Thank you, Spirit Guides. I'm truly grateful. Yeah, Virgo, either you're being real stubborn or you actually went into hermit mode. You're in isolation. Your mind, too. Your energy's kind of not right now because of this. Remember, you have clouded thoughts right now, so it's really hard. It'd be really hard for spirits or me to pick up your energy. There we go. 4 Wands. Okay. One more, Spirit Guides. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Spirit Guides. Angels. There it goes. Okay. Wands and Wands. Nice. So Wands are action cards, okay? There's a lot of action right here. Now, Wands are also spirit, okay? They represent fire signs, which could mean the energy also of an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But like I said, don't make it make sense. You'll know what I'm talking about. So the 4 of Wands. So the 4s on the Tree of Life are the first time that the actual Tree of Life bursts into color, okay? So 3s are... 3s are basically like the Tree of Life, understanding triangle, expressing something or trying to, you know, not gain clarity, but seeking solutions kind of. So the 4s, now when you level up to the next part, this is the Mercury. So this is your energy, Virgo, 4s. And this, on the Tree of Life, this is the first time, like I said, that it bursts into color. So it's ruled by Jupiter. It's a merit of deservingness. It's gratitude from the divine. And this is like stability and formation, okay? So the Wands itself, like I said, Wands are fire. So this card is the Lord of Perfected Work. Now what did I tell you? The perfection part, right? So this is the reason why you're in the situation that you're in, guys, okay? So this card is the Lord of Perfected Work. So this card is Venus and Aries. So something has been accomplished here, a completion, a higher truth. You see the people that are celebrating back there. It is associated with like a celebration of some kind, okay? Whether it's a realization or, you know, there's some kind of celebration from this. So people are celebrating there, and don't forget to stop and smell the flowers. So rest after accomplishments. In order for everything to be perfected, for it to work, there has to be teamwork, together for a good goal, and you feel supported, loved. Whether it's been 10 years, 10 days, 10 minutes, celebrate and show gratitude. Yeah, so if you can see these girls right here, I don't think you see the third one. But in the 3 of Wands, or is it the 3 of Cups? No, it's the 3 of Cups. So after the 3 of Cups, then you can see that it's almost like this depiction of this. However, you can see that third person in there. It's only just 2. The reason for that is it's about finding, you know, compromising about something, coming to a realization of something. So something has been accomplished here. And that is the perfected work of it. It's not so much that person's perfect. Never. Nobody's perfect, guys. Nobody. Not even you. So I want to see really quick what other, because it didn't really give us a very good description. So the Four of Wands is rewards, blessing, celebration, happiness, harmony, romance. So the Four of Wands suggests that you can reap the rewards of your achievements. The card promises a time of peace and harmony. It is a temporary calm before the storm. More hard work and energy will be required again soon to resolve problems and conflicts that will arise. But for the time being, a great deal of satisfaction and celebration is in order. Be charming and amiable, and enjoy sharing your success with others. Romance may be in the air. Nice, Virgos. Yeah, so as soon as you get out of that clouded mind, maybe that's the realization that you came to. You realize that maybe somebody is really good for you, and maybe you were wrong and they were right, or maybe you realize that you actually are really good together, whether they're perfect or not. Maybe they're not perfect and you're not perfect, but you're perfect together. How about that? Okay, so Knight of Wands. The knights are basically princes in the court cards, okay? So there's the pages, knights, queens, and kings. So the pages are princesses, and the knights are princes. So you're almost there, guys, to that king, or whatever you're trying to figure out in your mind. So knights are also like movement, okay? So it's nice to see because this has you you're like in a pause right now. So a lot of movement here, okay? So this is the Knight of Wands, another Wands energy. So that represents fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. This also is of spirit, and these are action cards. So the Knight of Wands, it's about action and movement. Can you imagine? Okay? So the knights on the Tree of Life, they belong to Hagma. All knights are fire, okay? And wands are fire. So this is a double element right here. So that means it's extremely, a lot of big energy. So they're also your self-conscious cards. So all knights have fire. They're moving. All knights have these horses. In every single card, they have a horse. And the horses actually signify the change in the moving in something, okay? So the wands are fire and fire. It's a fiery horse. There's flames coming out of his armor. This person has enthusiasm moving. On the cloak, they actually have salamanders. So what salamanders are, they're actually the only animal that can live through fire. So there's nothing going to stop you. Okay, there's a lot of passion, a lot of movement here, and it's double element. And the reason why they're showing the salamanders is even though through all this fire, there's nothing that's going to stop you because you can even live through fire. Okay, not hypothetically, but you know. So, his key phrase is impulse to freedom. There's an impulse to freedom and dignity and high dignity through learning and yearning. So when he's at his best, okay, there's an impulse to freedom and there's a lot of dignity through learning and yearning. Okay, so what I say, you came to a realization of something, okay, and you're not ready to announce it to the world, but there is going to be celebration with this of whatever it is that came to light, I guess. And this is the actual movement of you going forward with it. They're going to tell you nothing is going to stop you, and there's impulse to freedom and dignity through learning and yearning. So you learned something here, okay? When he's at his low, it's a sign of running, okay? You're running, and you're not wanting to deal with it, and you're getting out fast. So that's probably the way that you used to be. Maybe there's something that has been a little bit tough, whether it's a relationship or a friendship or something. You were the runner. You would always run. When things would get hard, you ran. Or like when you didn't want to deal with your feelings or your emotions, you ran, okay? You didn't want to listen to their feelings or their emotions, so you ran. Because this card is not in reverse, that means that you're done running, which is nice to see, okay? So instead of moving away from something, you're moving towards something and you're not running anymore. So that's really, you must have learned something here, which is pretty neat. I really love it when any sign learns growth and comes to realizations, because that means that you are moving forward, which is great. I love that. Okay, so there's changes ahead with adventure, energy, and enthusiasm. So there's charm. You're taking risks. You are finally to start finishing what you started, and it will pay off, okay? So share yourself. Watch opportunities to lend hands, offer skills, prove yourself in little things so that others will follow you in bigger battles. If you were kind of like wondering if you should ask somebody out, this card is inviting you to do so. Ask somebody out, make it happen. Speak your heart and challenge others to do the same. Always make sure that the motives are pure, though. They're pure for you and the other party, okay? Because if anything that's not done in love is evil, remember? Okay. So make sure it's all done with love and that your intentions are pure, not only for yourself, but for everybody who's involved in this, okay? Or involved in it. So, offer prayer, mention impartial truths that you've learned to apply in life. So every time you share your light, you aid in conquering the darkness. Nice. I like it. Okay, so let's go and move on to this card. So we're going to clarify this card a little bit. I know that this is one of them. So that was the message for this card, okay? So same reason I said before, the clarity of this Five of Cups is that, the Queen of Cups, is that, do you see right here, she's holding this pentacle, okay? She's looking down and she's very proud of it. She loves it, okay? So maybe what happened is in this material world, you were focused on the wrong things and you are starting to realize what actually holds value to you and something that is very important to you and that you adore, okay? That's something that maybe you in vanity weren't seeing the way that you should have been seeing it, or I'm not sure, but you came to a realization about something, and this had something to do with it. And whatever you are looking down at now, you are very admiring your pentacle. You're holding it with like she would hold a baby. See? And this card is about making something out of nothing. Okay, so maybe something that you didn't think was a big deal or whatever actually became the biggest. Okay, so yeah, nice. Okay, so we're gonna just keep going on. Spirit guides, thank you so much. Can we get one more card, Spirit? That's actually, oh, there it is. Never mind. I didn't have to say none. Okay, so the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands. This is what's great. I love this. Now, remember I said at the beginning that swords? What's happening with the Page of Wands is that this card is about an announcement. So you're ready. Whatever you figured out and whatever you are, in this Ace of Swords, weren't ready to actually express or tell people, this is an announcement and this is action because it's wands, right? Yeah. So excited for you guys, Virgo. So now you're coming to the point where you are ready, Virgo, to tell whoever it is whatever you realized, whatever you actually were able to realize in your mind. That's beautiful. I love it. Nice. Actually, turn this on. There we go. Okay. So this is the reason that you're in this reason. You came to a realization about something, but you're not ready to share it. There is celebration and harmony here. And this is about movement. You used to run. You're not ready to run anymore. You're actually moving towards something instead of running away from it, which is great. It means you're ready to face whatever it is that was causing this pain. The cups that they're spilt over. You're turning around. You're starting to see that your cups are actually still full. There's still something here. Something still remains. And you're ready to move forward towards it now. Nice. So this is what I just said, okay? You might have been looking at something the wrong way in this material world or putting value in something that wasn't of value for you. And now you actually realize that you did have this all along. And now you're looking at it with such admiration and you're adoring this now. You're starting to see the value in it. Okay, so this is the one that brings the announcement. So remember, pages are princesses in our court cards. And these are the ones that bring announcements, which just means that you are ready, my Virgo, to actually tell whoever it is whatever you realize, which is great. Because you are here to, remember, you're the one that said that everything that you share, well, every time you share your light, you are conquering the darkness. Okay, so you can actually, when you share what you've learned, it says you share yourself, watch for opportunities to lend a hand, offer your skills, prove yourself in little things so that others will follow you in larger battles. That means you're very influential. Okay, so great. So let's find out what this pages are trying to tell us here. I like this, guys. It all makes sense too. It's just, you know, coming to a realization of things is the best part of these readings. Because they all tell a story. And it's pretty neat how the story unfolds, you know? So let's find out. Where is my pages? Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's begin. Or maybe I have my head. So anyhow, the wands are our fire signs. They represent the fire, or Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Remember I told you guys, that does not mean that energy is what it is. Just telling you, it's also the description of the cards, okay? So don't just go off of the, oh, well, I know who Aries is, and that's why. No, that's not what that means, okay? It means it could be the energy of that person, or maybe somebody's the reason why you learned what you learned, or maybe they're teaching you something, you're teaching them something, who knows? But it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what it is, that energy, okay? It could be any other sign. So, the pages are like princesses. These are new cycles. They're very complex. They belong to Malkut. They correspond with Earth. This is your energy, guys. So, all pages are Earth. So this is your energy. So personality, alchemical. Pages are messengers and they bring announcements. So this is process of change. These cards are full of energies and they're full of personalities. Okay, so the Page of Wands is Earth and fire. So the quickening to come alive. You want this to grow. So whatever realization that you realized, now you're moving in fast with this idea of this realization, what you realized, and you're quickening for it to come alive, and you want it to grow. So something to become real. So there's a new stage, there's vitality, what we just learned in a cycle. So you're ready to announce this now, what you just learned, and you're working and changing your environment. There's a lot of enthusiasm, eagerness, and validation in this. You're leaping in new opportunities. You're eager to try new things and the activities that fall outside of your comfort zone. Nice. So don't hide your emotions. Let eagerness show. Be vulnerable. If you don't know what to do, admit it. Okay? So learn from someone. You can learn from someone's experience or even take someone's under your wing. Okay? So pledge to fully experience or to recapture the thrill of exploring new spiritual horizons. Even if you think that you know how to do something, relearn it and considering teaching others. So you must be a teacher of some sort, because you're very influential, and they're telling you here in all of these cards that you are influential and you actually have a lot to bring to this world. Okay? Because you're a Virgo. Of course you do. You're very analytical. You remove yourself from social situations just so you could find clarity and insight of who you are. So out of all the cards, you know who you are the most out of all of us. I'm not talking about us knowing you. I'm talking about how somebody knows themselves. Out of all of the signs, you are the one who clearly knows who you are. And that's because you have such introspection. And the Hermit means that you guys go into hibernation so that you can regain your focus. So you guys have the most clarity. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why you guys are so influential, which is pretty impressive. So this card is active, playful, imaginable, inspired, creative, and youthful. So the Page of Wands is an active and boisterous youth with a fertile imagination. So this card represents the urge to explore and play, to follow your dreams and look for new experiences and adventures. So the page seeks to avoid the responsibility that comes with maturity. When this card appears, it may represent a person, young or old, whose behavior is eternally youthful. It may also represent that your own need to break from stifling habits and responsibilities and actually become more mature. Or you started becoming more mature, and that's why you're a different person, and now you're ready to show that to the world, okay? Maturity just means that you learned a lot. You learned another part of your lesson. Doesn't mean that you're immature at all. We're all immature, trust me. So, this next card was, I'm pretty sure it was the Devil, and the Devil in reverse. So that's good. Really good. This is why. So I'm going to read you the actual description because this is a major arcana card. It means it's a major life lesson. Now, the Devil card is basically... Okay, I'm not even going to pick it out. So the Devil card upright. I'm just going to tell you from... because I know exactly what this means. So the Devil card like this, okay? Here's the Devil. And you see these two people right here? They are chained. And whatever toxic situation they're in, whatever substance they're in, whatever blockages that they have, they look like they're chained here to this podium, right? And they're actually under his spell. But if you look closer, these chains are loose. They're not binding. So if these people would just take these chains off and realize what is not good for them, They can remove themselves from this, okay? But you have to know what's not good for you. You have to break yourself from that toxic cycle, or the, the energies or a substance, whatever this devil is. So what he's about is that if you don't want to sit there and learn, he's going to make sure you learn it the hard way. That's exactly what this card means. So I'm going to read you really quickly, not the actual definition of this because I just said it to you, but I'm going to actually read you the devil meaning that closer represents to this card, so that you can get a better idea of what this actually means reversed, because you guys got that's reversed, and there's a reason why, because you overcame you gained some clarity here, and you broke free from those chains, you guys. Yes, I love it. So this card upright would mean, now remember, yours is reversed, so this is everything opposite. So lust, greed, rage, primal instinct, secrets, shadow, success in career, personal interest. So the devil card may fill us with dread because the devil is a symbol of evil. So the card asks us to confront the shadowy parts of ourselves, following the perfect balance of the angel and the temperance card. So the fool is reminded of those parts of himself that are self-serving and uncooperative, which he tries to keep hidden away, even from himself. So when this card appears, that which we don't like to admit about our own character and desires may be trying to break into our consciousness. So we may encounter these unwelcome qualities in others or in our dreams. A neglected part of us needs to be heard. Personal gain and success in one career is indicated by this card. We are advised to act in our own interests. So that means that this card was very self-serving, vanity. You weren't trying to see things for what they were, so you were stuck. Okay, you had in your mind not the right choice of things, because you were actually basing everything on either the material world or vanity or whatever suited you, instead of actually seeing what's best for yourself and others. Now, because you are upside down, this is your salvation. This was the guidance to overcome your issue. You had to look outside of yourself and care about something more than yourself, which is hard. It's hard to do, guys, especially in this kind of world. As we go on, we get hurt by people, and we get closed off, and we don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to share. We want to be selfish. We want to protect our emotions and protect our heart. But just because something isn't for you doesn't mean, just because what you went through in your life wasn't for you doesn't mean that there is something for you. So stop focusing on this loss and the pain of it, and these two cups are here for you. They're meant for you, right? So that's where this realization came in. And I love it, you guys. That's awesome. You actually gained clarity of something, that you are no longer just self-serving. You are starting to think and realize in your life that, even though there's others that did hurt you, doesn't mean that everybody's going to hurt you. And maybe you came to some realization that maybe you were hurting somebody that was actually good for you. Because that's what it seems like here. It seems like you came to this you realized something here. Let me put this back on a little bit. Okay, so in this sword card, you realize something here, but you're not ready to share it to the world, okay? Right here, people are actually celebrating. Maybe the spirit, your guides, whatever. Like, yay, he figured it out, or she figured it out. Okay, now you're ready to stop running from something, and you're ready to go at it. And because of this fire and this salamander, there's nothing that can stop you. Nothing's going to stop you. This is the reason why you're in the situation that you're in, is because you are focusing on what you lost instead of what you actually still have. This right here is that maybe you might have taken something for granted, or you were overlooking something, or you were looking at something in all the wrong ways. Now you're looking at this pentacle, your pentacle, with admiration, and you're adoring it. You love it. You're going to take care of it now. And then the Page of Wands is an announcement. It's action. So you're ready to take action in this announcement, and you have found a lot of maturity. Now, this is the reason why, because you actually became to a realization. I mean, you're no longer self-serving. You're no longer being greedy. You're no longer just worried about yourself. You took those chains off of what was ever binding you, and now you're ready. You're ready, which is great. Now, this Death card, I'm going to tell you, this is not a bad thing. This is how you need to change your perception on things, okay? Stop looking at things for face value, okay? Unlearn everything, okay? Because this card, when looked at the right way in your lesson, it's all about change and transformation. It has nothing to do with death. It has to do with the death of who you used to be, and now it's the rebirth of who you are. okay? Because something was really great here that you actually learned, and you're there, you guys. So this card is not about death, and that's the part of the lesson, is stop looking at this in a bad way, start looking at it the right way. This card is about transformation and change, and there's an ending to your shadow self. So this messenger of death is a skeleton dressed in black armor riding a white horse. It represents body, which suffers long after the life has left. So the armor symbolizes invincibility, and that death will come no matter what. Dark color is that morning. So it's a very mysterious horse that he's on, because the horse is of purity, and it acts as a symbol of strength and power. So death carries a black flag with a white petal, and there's a rose on it, reflecting beauty, purification, and immortality. And the number 5, that represents change. So together, these symbols reveal that death is about endings and beginnings, birth, rebirth, change, transformation. There is beauty in this, a lot of beauty in this. It is the inherent part of being alive. So this royal figure appears to be dead on the ground, while the woman and child and bishop plead for the skeleton figure to spare them. But as we know, death spares nobody. So the boat that floats down the river along the mythological boats are escorting the dead to the afterlife. On the horizon, there's a sun that sets between 2 towers, which also appears in the moon. Okay, so in the moon tarot, and it's a sense of of dying each night to actually be reborn again every morning. So what that means is that every waking day we have a chance to be better. We have a chance to grow. We have a chance. So that is what they're saying, that there's a lot of transformation here with you, and there's a lot of growth, and you're on your rebirth right now. So this card is about rebirth, transformation, change, end of something, so something else has a chance to begin. There's an end of a toxic cycle, and you're crossing thresholds. So this is about transformation. So I love it, guys. Awesome. Now this card came out. This is the Emperor. The Emperor is number 4. I also know that 4s are very significant to you guys, Virgo. So this is your energy. And let's find out why. So the Emperor represents Aries in our zodiac sign. So it could be that you know an Aries, or you learned from an Aries, or I don't know, your parents maybe could be an Emperor or Aries. So this is why. This is something of what you came to realize has something to do with an Aries energy, or result of that Aries, or because of that Aries. Okay, you know what I mean? So make sure you check out my Aries/Emperor reading, because that has a lot to do with the characteristics of this Emperor, which is also Aries in your guys' world. So the Emperor is number 4. It's authority established. So he sits upon a large stone, the stone throne, adorned with 4 rams, and those are the heads connected with Aries and the planet of Mars. Okay, so in his right hand he holds an Anika. It's an Egyptian symbol of life. In his left he holds an orb representing the world over which he rules. So he wears a red robe, meaning power, passion, and energy for life. Underneath he wears armor, and he is protected. Okay, I know exactly why this card's coming out. Okay, so he wears armor underneath his clothes, and he's protected from any threat. Okay, so any threat to him would be any emotional response or vulnerability. His long beard shows age and old wisdom and experience, and along with his gold crown, he shows he is an authority figure who demands to be heard. Behind his throne looms a tall mountain range, which signifies that he is backed by a solid foundation. So he's resistant to make any changes unless necessary. Beneath him flows a river, and giving him hope that despite his tough exterior, he is still emotional. It takes a lot of digging and trust to open his softer side. This Emperor is spirit. It's stern authority, ruler of structure. He also signifies mind over matter. This is Aries, and it means leader. So, did you guys hear what I just said? And this was in your reading. This is how I know this has to do with it. You may have had a parent that acted just like this, okay? And this is the reason why. This is how you realized the actual transformation of what you did right here, because this Emperor is either a parent, grandparent, or somebody very significant in your life that you ended up being just like. okay? The reason being is that it's said on here that he wears armor to protect him from any threat. So the old you would sit there and look at any threat would be any emotions that you felt or any response to vulnerability. And then a realization came that you cannot be this person anymore. Because with vulnerability is who we are at our core level, our core being, our spirit. Vulnerability does not make people weak. It actually is the strongest thing that we could ever go through, because you are trusting in your vulnerability to guide you, and that takes a lot of strength, a lot of courage. Being vulnerable is actually a very strong trait. You need to unlearn everything that you were taught, okay? This is not the way to be as somebody who's stern and wears armor to protect their vulnerability and their feelings, okay? So how could you ever be happy? How could you ever in your life be happy if there's no vulnerability and no emotion in it, right? You were so focused on all these things that were lost that you put on this armor and you weren't trying to feel things or realize things, okay? You weren't vulnerable. And that's not fair. In a relationship, if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody, you need to show that with them. They deserve that as much as you do. See what I'm saying? You can't be this armored up person that doesn't care and there's no vulnerability. If that's the case, don't be in a relationship. You know, stay on your own, because you're going to hurt somebody. You're bleeding on somebody else. And you realized here that you cannot be this person and actually be happy in life. Because every human feels, every human needs to be vulnerable, every human has to go through emotions. It doesn't matter how much armor you put on, you cannot resist that. It's impossible, because the feelings are your intuition, the feeling is your soul. You can't block that, you guys, no matter how much we've been hurt, okay? We all have been hurt, and we all have childhood issues, but you cannot keep on carrying that around and walking through this life armored up. You cannot. The way that we learn is through failure, okay? Nobody ever got this right, especially the first time around, second time around, third time. Nobody got this right. And maybe it might take you a long time to get it right, but you know what? Just like when we were kids, okay? Our first hardest lesson, and I say this in every reading, our first hardest lesson was learning how to walk, okay? We would fall 17 times an hour. We would get right back up again, and we would keep on continuing, because every time that we fell, with every failure, we learned something new from that, okay? We got more experience in it, we got better at it, and now we know how to walk, right? But nothing ever stopped us from getting right back up. So now get that, because we didn't have armor. So get that armor off, guys, please. Like, it's not going to help you. You're only blocking yourself from knowledge, from growth, from love, from, I don't care how strong you think you are. Every human craves a connection with somebody of love, okay? And don't ever settle for less, of course. Know your worth. But also realize that, even if you fail, it's a next step to progress, because you actually learned something from it. Now you're more experienced. So now the next time you do it, you're going to be better than you were before. See what I'm saying? But don't block it off completely, because then you're never going to experience it, and you're going to go through this life alone. Why? You don't need to do this alone, guys. Okay? Virgos, you don't. So whatever this is, this had to have been a parent or somebody. If you have an Aries as a parent, this is where you learn this from, okay? Take off that armor. Let it go. Our parents did not deal with their issues or their problems. That's why they armored up. And now we realize in our generation that we can't do that. You can't do that, because now not only are you taking on the responsibilities and from your parents, but now you're also bleeding onto your kids, which, no, you can't do that, guys. We have to stop and break that cycle now, so that our kids will not bleed onto our grandkids, okay? This isn't the right way. Clearly our parents did not know what they were doing, because we all have childhood issues. But I do want to let you know something else, okay? I'm not trying to say hate your parents or resent your parents, because they were hurt too, okay? Whatever was damaged in them, they didn't know how to deal with it, especially, like we do. They didn't. They were taught to bury their burdens or whatever, their childhood issues, very deep inside them, and they never talked about it. They acted like it was never there, which eventually has poisoned them. Okay, and they didn't know how to be good parents. I want to hear one person that said their parent was a good parent in all aspects. Because nobody writes for free here, guys. Okay, we learn, everybody's set in our life for us to learn something. So I want to tell you guys this too as well. In this life, there are no victims. There are no perpetrators. They're only teachers, okay? And they're here, and they're set to come in our lives to teach us and get us to where we need to be who we've always been and who we are at our core being. Okay? So with every failure is knowledge and growth, or, you know, like every painful failure that we went through was a way for us to grow from, okay? So you got to let this go. Take off this armor. You know, you can't be a person with no feelings and no emotions and not be vulnerable either. You're never going to make it in this world, guys. So don't do that. You're just hurting yourselves. So this represents a powerful leader who demands respect and authority. Status, power, and recognition are essential to you. Conflict doesn't scare you. You do not hesitate to use power to protect those that you care about. Claim your authority as a leader and do not let others put you down. Create calm out of chaos by breaking down any problem into parts and then map out its actions. So you need to resolve things and stick to your plan till the end. Quit running and teach others your wisdom so that they can be wise and as powerful as you. But please do this with absolute love and absolute good intent for all of your involvement and all of their involvement, whether it's jobs, co-workers, lovers, friends. You don't do it just for your greater good. You do it for everybody's greater good, okay? That's part of being vulnerable. You're just going to trust in it. Trust in your intuition. And even if you fail, get right back up because you are stronger than you were before. You learned something here. There's more knowledge, more experience. You got this. If you have to fall 17 times an hour before you get it, hey, at least you get it, right? And this isn't of deception. There's no deception here. This is actual truth that you learned the hard way. You got this. That's where the experience comes in. That's where everything comes in. That's where it's done in the best absolute of goodwill for you and others, okay? Okay, Virgo, that is your reading. I do appreciate sharing this with me. Don't forget to check out also the significators. Like I said, this is Aries. If you have a parent, sibling, lover, whatever, go into the Emperor Aries reading because it actually will tell you the characteristics. And when you get future readings, you're going to know exactly who I'm talking about because I don't know who your family is. I don't know who's been in your life, past, present, future. That's for you to decide. All I'm here to do is get the energy of what you're going through, having the spirits, guides, and angels guide us with this, and basically tell you what each card means for you to write your story. I'm not going to tell you how your story is. I don't know. It's not my life. This isn't my lesson. It's yours. So I give you the energies. I tell you the past, the lessons, and everything else. You're the one that writes your book. Okay? All right, Virgos. Thank you so much for watching. Love and light.